see. What to expect? Okay, so what to expect sa good evening everyone. Welcome back for another live video. This is Sots TV. How is everyone's doing? So we're gonna talk about the Minstrel MS2 builds. No? I'm sure madaming sa inyo na wants to know about the Minstrel. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, follow, and share. So right now we're just doing some MVP farming and then a little quest. So my stats for Minstrel will be not that. Wait lang Actually, just grinding lang. Just gonna grind some. Okay, let's go back. So my stats for Minstrel MS2 will be Bit, focus on Bit, Int, and Dex. Since MS2 has a magic type property, damage, and since we are under a full support debuff, so we increase our Bit. And the reason for Dex is for the casting, no? But if you're not more on skill type, you can transfer the Dex towards Vit. So it could be 94 Vit and Dex 69. So it's up to you. But normally, I prefer of having a higher Dex, so your Raging Storm will able to be more helpful. Yeah. Value of Hail Arrows, so it consists with your Dex and then casting. The reason that if you're full support, you don't need to have a higher cast and having a support damage, because if you're not focusing on Raging Storm and you're just focusing on Raiders, Reverberation, and the mixed voice imprint, that'll be good. Or you don't need to have a higher dex because it's just a one-time casting and it continues casting for a certain period of time. So let me show you what it looks like when damaging in a group. Okay, so ito. So if you see here, our damage will be not that so big because we focus on VIT type, but the supporting damage is very useful. Ganyan siya. So I'm gonna revert my build towards the VIT type side, no? What will be IMB increasing? 10. I think yeah. So later on, I'll be editing my skill again or my stats. So let me show you about my stats and about my equipment and skills. Yan. So what we are focusing on the stats. Right now, our focus on stats will be wait drops. So later on, I'll be editing my skill again or my stats. Right now, our focus on stats will be wait drops. So later on, I'll be editing my skill again or my stats. So right now, we discuss about the stats and we will be discussing the equipment. So I choose the stone round shield because it has a large size monster reduction, medium reduction, and small reduction when you refine it to a higher tier, and it increases your max HP up to 8%, which is a good thing. Since you're a tanking support, we should have a higher max HP, including with resistance and reductions. For enchant, the best will be max HP's, Vit, or Def. I'm using a eating grass for healing bonus receive. For the armor, I'm using a Rift set, and this will be including Vit, and it has a healing receive of 10%, so I'm currently using, which is a good thing. And when you refine it 12 up to 4 8% of max HP. So I'm using a healing receive and the dull devil card, which is a magic reduction, which is 8% and max HP. So I'm using a currently Vit again for shoes, which has a Vit 6 and max HP. So up to, if you convert it, so para 4% siya. So I have Def, Healing, and Max HP, which is a beneficial for these shoes. With the Vit, plus 5 in freezing resistance. And for leveling, you can upgrade Luna Brooch, because if you upgrade it for a higher tier, it has a 7 SP region of 25% and then SP region of plus 10. So I haven't enchanted. So if I enchant this, whatever stats will be, it will be useful. But currently I don't need attack speed, even it's very high, so we just need to re-enchant it. But I'm gonna save it. Yeah, so let's one more. Crit def, which is 6. Yeah. Max HP now 6% crit def is much better, no? So that's for the meantime muna. And then for cards, I'll be using a Sacred Scarecrow. So I'll be receiving like 10% of healing. So currently using a Loot because it has a max HP of 2000, max HP of 10%, and SP regen of 10%. And when performing skill, you will be receiving a def. When using a performance skill for each refine, plus 1, a def 1%. So I have 6. So automatically I have 6% already. No. And then when you upgrade it to 5, there's a 5 attack with 10, max HP of 5%. And then additional all attributes plus 8, which is a very, very good stat. So I'm currently using a Hunterfly, sometimes because of the Raging Storm. When heating, there is a certain type of damage that allocates for this. So it receives a life steal. And I'm using a Wheel of Fortune. As of the moment, I'll be changing this for a better sustainability or tank build. Bard. So I'm focusing on the tank support Bard. So I have crit def and I'm using give it card, which has a M def of 10%, which is very a lot. It's a very helpful percentage. 10% is very good. Then Monocule, I'll be changing this soon, but currently I'm pairing it with Packet Watch because of the SP, HP and SP regeneration speed of 5%, and yeah, additional M attack for support of my branding imprint. And then I'm currently using a Kraken Treasure Key, which has a max HP of 8%, and when you refine it to 6, plus 5 damage reduction to all races, so including demi-human. So very useful. So that's why I already plus 6 this item. And then I'm using Midgard bag, which is if you refine it very high, you'll be receiving a damage reduction and a freeze resistance at 2%. So if you refine it to plus 15, you'll be receiving a 30% of freezing resistance and damage reduction of 15. Then you combine it with M-Def Fairy, which is an M attack damage reduction by 1%, so 15, and then stun resistance of 2, which is 15 times 2 would be 30% again. So enchant will be focused on healing, def, max HP, or stat base under than Vit, Int, or possible Dex. And if you're using a Midgard bag and M-Def, which is a set effect, you'll be receiving additional reduction of 5% and magic reduction of 5%. Now, let's talk about skills. So right now, what we'll be doing is I'll be showing you the stat builds, which is the important skill that you can have. So on the archer side, the things that you'll be having importance are Vulture's Eye. So Vulture's Eye because it permanent increase range by 50% and hit by 20. So why I did not increase it to level higher than this is normally attacking range permanently increase by 50%, which is permanently increase range 50 has the same. The only difference when you increase this one is the hit increase by 20 and so on. So if you're lacking hit, you can maximize this. If you are not focusing on the Raging Storm anymore, and you're pulling support, I suggest you go for Vulture's Eye Bigger because of the hit rate increase by 20. Auto attack and double strike with bow weapon grants a range bonus of 10%. So depending if you'll be using a bow, but we're currently using an instrument. So Arrow Shower, this is I maxed it out or leveled this a max level of the reason of the Raging Storm. So I'll show you later on. Owl's Eye, which is permanently increased dex by 10, which is very helpful. This is a 10 plus 10, so it's useful. Then Elemental Arrow for additional support. Increase attack by 30 and auto attack by 100 when using bow, whip, or music type. So depending on if you want to maximize this, if you don't want Arrow Shower, you can have it 20. But for me, this is the best setup as of the moment, unless I'll really be going for higher hit increase rate. Okay, so on the bard skills, the most important skills would be the use musical instrument, which is increase musical type weapon and control ability. When using an instrument, increases your attack by 60% in total. No, I'm sorry, 60 points or plus 60 on level 20, no? And damage increase by 10% and auto attack by 400. And performance skill increases speed by 10%. Okay. Next, momentary adaption, which is Bard and Dancer can use this skill to stop current song. So if you're doing manual, you will able to use alternative skills like Apple of Eden, War of Drum, and so on and so on. On Barrack Octave, this is a supportive skill which has a 100% chance of inflicting free status on all enemies target within the 3 meters for 10 seconds. Which is it's a good skill also. It has a high trigger rate because of it has a 100 chance. Unless the monster or the player has a immunity or high resistance, sometimes they will not be in a freezing status, but it's still useful. The reason I'm getting gold, Mr. Gold is rich. If you want to have it base XP increase faster and job, you can use this while leveling and forgetting the poem of Blakery. So we'll talk about it later. Apple of Eden, which is increasing, which is there's a better skill, which is it will increase your max HP better on the upper class. So that's why I put it on only on level 2. Then War of Drum, on the skill, just to set your expectations, it's your own preference of skills, which is I'm giving you some guidance. What are to choose and what are important for you, because there are some players are just normally want to heal and support, and there are some really players are doing some switching and changing items, so it really depends. And most of the skills that I got is just for the prerequisite for the next job. Whistle, which is increases your flee, that's very a lot. And speed by 10% of all teammates within 4 meters. Then Lullaby, which is status sleep. So status sleep is a very important thing also, or a very important skill. It has a 80% chance rate just on having it in at level 1, no? So anyone who will be entering that skill, they will be on sleep status. So I did not get for the instrument, but when you're currently on Bard, this is the only skill. So before resetting, you will be still able to use this. Then there's Assassin Dust, which is during performance time increases your agi. So if you have players within your team, if you want to use it to have their increased speed, but this skill is not that really used at all because most of the characters already reach already the 480 attack speed. So this is just for the prerequisite. Eternal Chaos, which is enable skill or ensemble skill, reduce the depth of all enemies within 5 by 100%. So that is good also if you want to destroy them. But again, that is just for preference. So let's go for the Clown. So Clown will give you additional edge because here you'll be having the Encore skill, which is using the same dance or song that you used last time, so it will consume less SP. So if you're always changing from ensemble to what you call this solo skills, the next skill will be reduced by 50%, including SP use with chorus skills. Don't hold me back. This is a passive skill that will able to give you mobility or move freely within the ensemble skills range but cannot use skills. Restoring 100% movement speed and attack speed, which is it gives you also gain of 5% damage reduction. Now the poem of Blakery or Blakey, it gives you casting time increase and increase SV regen speed. So if you are solo leveling and you are short of items and you want to have your build to increase your SP regen, then most of the time you'll be using a poem of Blakey. And then Rocky Sorrow, it is a skill that prevents all opponents within the 5 meters from able to use skill. So any skill type, any jobs will be encountering this part, and then they will not able to use a skill, which is only effects against enemy in the wild. So I think they're gonna fix this for some updates. Form last 60 seconds and use 18 SP at level 1. Popular trick. Some suggest to have it level 15, so I just got it to have 10. 10 is enough for giving them transfer 30 of the own STR attribute index, or which is the 6 stats, to another teammate for 60 seconds. So it's like a devotion, but this is just a assistance for increasing the damage. So if you're in the party who has an LK or anyone you want to help to increase their damage output, VIT increase, their critical or their flee, this will be also helpful. Rebellion ring, I did not use it. Some reasons, but if you are more on a damage type person and you want to increase your penetration when it comes to damage, then this is useful. Increases pen and M pen of all teammates within 5 meters by 1%. So example, if I 10 this, increases 10%. So it's not that big, no. And then Undying Shield, it's much better to have this because most of the time there are runs that has a skill with earth, water, fire damage. So if you want to increase it, you can have it for 15, and then you will have a total of 30 resistance, which is by 30% of all teammates within 5 meters, which is last for 60 seconds, which is very useful. Music instrument, this is passive. This is for yourself only. When using a music type weapon, increases dex by 15, attack by 80, and by another 5%. Catalyst, it's a skill that allows to a certain type of characters that uses items. Like if you have a genetic, uses blue gems, red gems, something like that. They will not use any skills anymore, and you can perform this, and they can cast and cast continuously. Arrow Vulcan, if you haven't transferred to Minstrel, you can use Arrow Vulcan for giving you additional output damage. If you are on a DPS or semi-hybrid, build Minstrel or Clown at that time. So this is also a barrage of arrows that enemy, which is a single target. But this is also a good skill. If you're losing loot, it will enhance your Arrow Vulcan up to 5%. And then Illusion Puppet, summon one Illusion Puppet that follows self. The Illusion Puppet won't attack or damage. When there's no dancer in the team, she can sing and play instrument with the Illusion Puppet. So it's a support companion for you. So let's go for Minstrel. Okay. So in the Minstrel, the first prioritized skill, I think, will be the Shield of Resonance. If you are support, but if you're DPS, you will go for Raging Storm, so you get only one Shield of Resonance. So if you want to have it a little heal support while you're leveling, so that's enough, one, and then you max Raging Storm up to 20. So Shield of Resonance is, this is, some people already asked. It allows your recovery coming from an total int status and VIT divide by 2 times 50 of HP to all teammates within 4 meters, which is last 30 seconds. Which is very, very good. If you have a higher int VIT and higher max HP, it multiplies your heal, including your healing receive, healing increase items. So it also helps boost your healing towards yourself and your teammates. Then Song of Return, once you transfer to Minstrel, it's okay to have it only from to have this level at 1. Okay, so level it at 1. So this is the last skill that you want to increase to level 5, because you can prioritize other skills that you can have other than this, because Resu, this is a single target and has a cooldown which is 5%. 5 seconds. Okay. Next is, I'm using the Reverberation, which is this is a active skill. It creates an ultrasonic wave on the ground, inflicting neutral magic damage equivalent to 1080% attack on all enemies target close to that ultrasonic. You can use Vibration Field, which is immediately activates all resonance quake and increase resonance resounding quake damage by 20%. So if you level it 5, it increases to 100%. But you cannot put this on auto. So I have tried it. Vibration Field is a manual skill, so you need to put it on the manual skill slot. It's not working on the auto skill slot. So even without the increasing damage or Aberration Field, Reverberation will able to help you to give you additional boost of damage. Then for 4 months class, this is a good passive skill which is increases your own maximum SP by 10% and improves SP recovery by 10. This is not included your loot and other items, but this is very useful. It gives you boost of a lot of SP and SP recovery. Now for the last part, which is the Minstrel, this is the MS2. So I just got it. If you have any questions, just comment down below on the chat. So I love reading comments. Okay, so let's talk about mixed voice imprint. The enemy dealing magic damage equal to 900% of the attack. So it deals magic damage equal to attack times 900% to the target. So that's your equal to the attack of 900% of your attack. So it's a multiplier, and then it changes to a magic damage. That's why the damage type is a magic type. Some people are asking if are they going to focus on attack or magic. That will be depending. If you came from a magic type, then you can focus on a magic type. It also has a value, because if you have M penetration, M ignore depth, and high magic output, so it gives mixed voice imprint a lot of damage, which is already tried using a different accessories like Orlin's glove or Dulahan. Okay, so the mixed voice brand will take an additional branding damage when receiving physical damage from the caster, this effect lasts for 60 seconds, which is a good skill. And this cannot be dispelled. The skill can be used during a performance and require equipment of instrument type only. So if you're using a bow, so this will not be activated. And then once you have brand exorcism, the voice imprint each triggers reduce the enemy's 0.2% magic reduction, physical, defense, and MDEF for 10 seconds with a maximum of reduction of 6% at level 1. So if you can increase it of level 5 up to 30%, which is a very high boost of reduction. So this is what we call the debuff of the minstrel skill. It's a passive assist debuff skill that it will help your parties when if they're trying to kill on GBG WoW. 30% is big. It's a lot. So, but I will let you know what will be the prioritized for this 4 skills, but I will be discussing the third one. When using an arrow, this attribute's attack power corresponding to the arrow increases by 6%. So this is your elemental arrows, or what type of arrows that you're using will be adding a 6%. So if you increase it to 5, it will be up to 30%. And when equipped in a musical instrument weapon, the attack range of a normal attack increases by 2 meters. So it's an assist skill. And then this is what we call the stigma, legato. So while performing a skill, there is a 55 chance per second to deal branding damage to enemy. Within the 5 meters range you are marked, every 10 seconds, all enemies within 5 meters range will be hit by the max or mixed branding. And then mixed branding is triggered. It can reduce the court musician's skill delay and skill cooldown time by 0.1 up to 3%. Which is, if you increased it, that is up to 30%. So it will continue skill. Now, this is the big question. What will be the prioritize? You will be prioritizing of stigma because of the chance, because of the chance of increasing this up to 100%. So it's like a double attack of sorcerer, something like that, or dupli light, something like that, or double attack of a assassin cross. So it gives you per second. So if there's per second, there's a 100 chance per second to deal branding damage. So it's like a DPS type damage and a passive. Then once you upgrade stigma, you'll be upgrading mix imprint, which is it gives you a total of increasing damage of 1,250% from your attack and becomes a magic damage. And then third will be the brand exorcism, and the last one will be the brand or the sharp arrow. So hopefully this will be a very help for you guys. Now if you have any questions with the character or MS2 minstrel, just comment down below. And don't forget, if you're liking this video, or if you're interested to see more of like this, don't forget to like, follow, and share, and click the notification button. Okay, and then that's it. Hopefully I'll see you guys on our next live. And I read again, thank you so much for the support. I love reading comments and answering some questions, and also I love receiving other information from other people who has idea with minstrel. So it gives more interaction with how you use your character and how to improve it. Thank you so much. See you guys on my next live. Bye for now.